Hello, good morning once again. We are back continuing with our research. Now we want to know what is God. In our previous teachings, we really saw exactly what we are missing and what is God. Now we want to check all of the religions and find out the meanings of them. So, from the beginning to Malachi in the Bible, it was tradition. And the tradition, they were practicing in shrines. So let us find out the meaning of this word shrine. So my brother, you can go to the dictionary and let everybody hear what the English word shrine or the Englishman describes shrine so that we all know. Shrine, yeah?
A place where people come to worship because it is connected with a holy person or event.
Oh, good. It is connected with holiness, holy person or holy thing. You see, it says the shrine is connected with holy, something that is holy. The shrine is connected with something that is holy. Holy. Okay, now after this traditional worship of the Hebrew God, it came to pass that the people of Israel went into exile. That is where we hear the name of Nebuchadnezzar capturing the people of Israel because they are fall short of the revelations and things of their God. So the people were taken into exile in Babylon. So it is. So from Babylon, these people came with a new version of religion which was forced upon them according to history. That is Judaism. That is Judaism. And where do they practice this Judaism? According to the history, synagogue. Let's find out the meaning of synagogue in the scriptures, in the dictionary.
A place of worship for a Jewish congregation.
Oh, just a place of worship of Jewish congregation. Oh, that is Jews. A place where Jews worship. Because if you believe in Judaism, you become a Jew. So a Jew does not necessarily belong to the nation of Israel. So anybody who claims that is a Jew and therefore he is an Israelite is a blatant lie. The Israelites were not Jews. It was a faith that was pushed into them to accept. So it was never the identity of the people of Israel. Because inside the scriptures, one portion says, an Ethiopian Jew was going to Jerusalem to worship. And he was reading the book of Isaiah. And an angel went and asked him whether he understood it. He was an Ethiopian, but he was a Jew. But today we see many people calling themselves Jews and claiming that they are Israelites. It is a blatant lie. They can never be until they become Hebrews. Okay, now we go to from exile as they brought the Judaism and were worshipping in synagogues. That was where a prophet of the Hebrew God came. That people have manufactured a lot of names for him. That man who came, given a title of Ayesu. That man was given a title of Ayesu. And the reason why that man came was that the people were practicing different kind of practice away from this very particular original. So he came to tell the people that your God must not be practiced in a synagogue. Your God can only be practiced in a shrine. So you people must leave the synagogue and go and follow your God. That was where the Greeks translated that the man went and beat the people in the synagogue because they were selling. No. He told them to leave synagogue because synagogue is not where their God is. Their God does not dwell in synagogue. The truth must be told for people to become free. You see, he said a place of what? Please give me the meaning of synagogue again.
A place of worship for Jewish people.
A place of worship for Jewish people, just like that. No holiness attached to it. Was there any holiness?
No.
So, synagogue worship by Jews is not a holy place. Then, let's go from there. After the Judaism, there was from another place called India, Hinduism and Buddhism. And these people worship in temples. Please find the definition of temple for me.
A place of worship consisting of an edifice for the worship of the deity.
Oh, there was no holiness. You see, no holiness attached to it. You see, there was no holiness attached to the temple. Then, from Greece, Roman, came Christianity. In actual fact, it was the Greeks who brought Christianity, and then the Romans accepted it. Constantine, he accepted it, and then it became part of Roman culture or Roman religion. You see, and this one, they practice it in a church. Let's find a definition of a church.
A church, a place for public worship.
That's all? Oh, a place for just public worship. That is what the Englishman who brought his language defines a church. There is no holiness even attached to it, because there can never be holiness attached to church. According to the Englishman whose language it is, the church does not deserve any word called holiness. So it was just a place of public what? Worship, or a believer's worship. Simple. It doesn't have any title of holiness. Church does not have any title of holiness. Then from the Arabia came Islam, of which they practice this in the mosque. Find the definition of mosque.
A Muslim place of worship that usually has a minaret.
Oh, it has a
Muslim place of worship.
Just simply Muslim place of worship, without any holiness. There's no holiness. So you see, you can assess it and see it for yourself. These are words that have meanings. These are words that have meanings. Shrine, a holy place. Synagogue, a place of gathering of Jews without any holiness. It doesn't attribute, it's not attributed to holiness. Then the Hindus and the Buddhists, they worship in temples without any holiness attached to it. Then the so-called Christianity's church has no holiness attached to it. Then their brothers, the Islam, mosque, has no holiness attached to it. So you can see it for yourself. Now I want people to understand and know what is God. Exactly what is God, and how does God being practiced. You see, we learn English, and the English language is not my language because I'm a Hebrew man. I speak the original Hebrew language. But according to the Englishman who wrote all these things, he has given meanings to it. So we can see for ourselves the shrine that we so much hate so much, the shrine that we all reject, the shrine that we all call the devil's place, has been attributed to holiness. You can see that for yourself. You have to learn to understand. The church that you so much believe has no holiness, because where there is holiness, even a bad object cannot go there. But here is the case: people take carcass of human carcass into churches. And how will that place become a holy place? It can never become a holy place, because all sort of evil thing, women go into their period of monthly period, and they still go there. Even now, women are pastors with their menstrual period. They go there and say they are pastors and continue standing in the pulpit and teaching. No, before the original God, you cannot go there with any filth. That is why that place is called the holy place. But all these places, You see, there's no holiness attached to it. The synagogue has no holiness. The temple has no holiness. The church has no holiness, as well as the mosque. No holiness attached to them. So now you can see that whatever you condemn, you have to be very careful. I have not come to condemn everything, but I am only letting people to understand the real meaning of the synagogue, the temple, the church, and the mosque, according to white man's definition. Because it is his language. That is exactly what I'm portraying to you. Because many of our people condemn the traditional, which is the original. The tradition, which is the original, simply because it does not go well with some few people. It does not go well with the people who have grouped themselves to be the wise people. So they have to condemn it. Now let us go into the history and see how things changed. You see, I will let us go into, let me go into how these people say these things have changed. Give me, read Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah. Give me the book of Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah 31, verse 31. Let's listen to it. Because many Christians stand upon this particular chapter and verse, of which I believe they don't understand exactly what is going on there. And we are all here to listen to their own book, what it says.
Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel.
Oh, so this God was talking to only Israel, not the whole world even. Okay, go on.
And with the house of Judah.
Very good. He's making a covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Yahudah people. You see, he's making a new covenant with the house of Yahudah and then house of
Israel.
Israel. So these are the two people he's making a covenant with, not the whole world. So let's go on.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
Simply because it says not according to the covenant I make with their fathers. Somebody says things has changed. Let's see what the covenant is. Let's all hear what exactly the covenant is. Is it that he says he has changed worship, or what exactly has he changed? Continue.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
Yes.
My covenant they break.
Oh, he has even added that. They break that covenant. So when you say they break, people will say because they disobey. He said they break that covenant, they break it, they put it down, and it got broken into pieces. Continue.
Although I was an husband unto them, said the Lord.
Right.
But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
Oh, he said what? This shall be the covenant that he's talking about. Whether it is changing of worship or whatever it is, let everybody listen very carefully, because the most pathetic of all these atrocities is that our people read without reasoning. They read the books without reasoning. Probably they refuse to reason because of their stomach. That is what I see. Continue.
After those days, said the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts.
He will put what?
Their law.
Oh, it is the law he's talking about, not worship. After all, it is the law that he was talking about. What law? Continue.
And write it. Let me take it. Said the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people.
Yes. Continue.
And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord.
Very good. Very good. You see, he has clearly defined the covenant he is talking about here. The law that was broken by Kwekumosi. He says, when I took you from Egypt, the laws that I gave you, you broke it. You definitely broke them. That is what he's talking about. He's not talking about worship. You see, the 10 commandments, the laws that was broken is what he's talking about. And he said this time, the law is not going to be separated from the people. The law is not going to be written on a book. The law is not going to be written on a particular tablet or a stone tablet, whereby it will be kept somewhere whereby somebody offend. They have to go and refer that book or that tablet or that document. But the laws will be written in the minds and in the hearts of men. That is why a child of 6 years knows that when you pull a gun and fire somebody is sin. A child of 5 years knows that when you use a knife on your sister is a sin. Nobody taught him. But because that God has already put in those things in the minds and in the hearts of men already. You see, simply this, then people say he has changed worship. Simply this. Which of you does not know that when you steal is sin? When he was about the age of 10. Which of you? Everybody knows. So who taught you that? Nobody taught you that, because you have it already in your mind. You have it already in your heart that that particular act is not good. You see, so this is exactly what he's talking about. Making a new covenant. Then all of a sudden you people are jumping about saying he has changed. You see, where did he say I have changed worship? Where did he say I have changed the practice of me? Where did he say I have changed the traditional way of doing things? Where did he say that? I am asking the people of that book who are holding it and they are reading it without understanding. You see, you are making yourself fools. You are making yourself stupid. This thing must stop. I wish the black man would begin to reason up and read things with his brains and consciousness and begin to reason about things and know what is true and false. You see, we are not trying to justify the Bible, but we are trying to let people know what is true and what is false. You see, that is exactly what we are doing. Because we are fed up with all these lies. We have to come out with the truth so that people will begin to know the truth and follow the truth and be free from their bondage. Thank you very much. Next time we shall meet on another topic.